Guys, what is up? So, this week's questions were, do you want to get better at something? And if so, what? Do you want to feel better? And do you want to be better than you were yesterday? So, 3 big questions. All 3 of them have a beginning part in common, and that is, do you want to? For a while, the biggest thing that was going through my head was I knew that I was capable and smart enough. I knew that I was dedicated enough to chase after any career that I wanted. So I tried a whole bunch of different ones, guys, all over the map. This was the issue because I had no idea what I wanted. I think I struggled with that so much. That's where I got stuck, and I let it get me stuck. Honestly, the whole time, ever since I graduated, I knew that I wanted to do something that would allow me to reach as many people as possible because I love talking with people. I love hearing their stories. I love doing things like this. And I knew I wanted to do something where I could reach a broad audience in a way that I could also travel. And it was very clear that this was the perfect path to take. I know that the things that I want out of life line up with what I'm chasing after now. And because I know that, because I know the things that I'm setting my life up for, I see those things and I want them so bad that I'll do anything for them. And that's the thing, guys. That's the thing. You can put your mind to anything. You can. And even if you hate it, you can put your mind to it and you can push through it. Obviously, there are going to be processes in your life that are going to be difficult and you're going to have to push through them, yes. But if you know what you're aiming for as a result, you should have enough motivation to get yourself through it. It's a really tricky business because you're either gonna want something so bad that you change, or you're gonna hate something so bad that you change. I had a relationship that was a massive decision that I had to make, and it absolutely changed my life. And I went to this conference or whatever when I was kind of debating should I break it off, all that kind of stuff. And I told her about everything, and she asked me one question and then left me hanging, and it was so annoying. She was like, "Are you tired yet?" And I was like, "Huh?" And she was like, "Think about it. Are you tired yet?" And I was like, I have no idea what you're saying. After a while, it got to the point where I was exhausted with trying to put up with the feeling that I knew I had to change, that I knew I had to change something in my life. And because I was so tired, I remembered what she said, "Are you tired yet?" And I was like, yes, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. And that's what caused me to change. And yes, that changed my life in a positive way. So many times, wait until we hate something, and that's when we flip our life around. And that is not a bad thing. At least you changed. But the thing is, if you just let it keep going and you just try to roll with it and you try to make logical sense of it, it doesn't work. Like we talked about last week, where our thoughts are lead to our actions, and our actions lead to who we are, right? So you have to think, especially when you have this feeling, you have to think about what you really want, what you really want out of this life, because you only have one life here on earth. You got a second one if you love Jesus. But you decide what you're going to make of it. So you can't exactly decide all of the circumstances, but what you can decide is to take that feeling that you have, question yourself about it, and figure out what you need to do next. I think there are so many times where we have this feeling and we know we have to make a change, but because we don't hate it, we don't hate our situation enough, we're not willing to. And I think one thing, if you set your mind on the things that you really want, on the things that you know you need, the desires that God put in your heart, if you put your mind there, you're gonna love that enough to get out of the situation before you hate the situation enough to leave the situation. Think about it. The thing that you have to do is address your issues. You have to address your issues. This is why you have to ask yourself questions, and you have to ask yourself what you really want. Because if you say, "Man, I wish I had more friends. Man, I wish I had a job that I really actually liked. I wish that I was happy again." All of those things are possible. All of them are possible. But when we leave it on the surface as, I want this, and that's it, and we don't take it on a level where we're like, I want this enough to fight for it, it will never work. You have to want it enough to fight for it. You have to hate your situation enough to fight to get out of it. But so many times we're settling and we're just like, man, I wish. And we think that it's not possible, but it always is. There's always something that you can do. I think if we thought about those things, if you don't have any close friends and you're like, man, I want friends. It's so easy to say that and not think about it. But if you think about it, you're like, man, I wish I had people that would support me through all of the things, all of the times. I wish I had those people. And you just think about like what the possibilities are. You can train yourself to want it enough, and then you will fight for it. And that means that you have to get into your head and ask yourself, is this something that I actually want? Do I actually want to be happy, or am I just saying it for attention? Ooh. Because I've been there, honey. I've been there. I say that all the time. It's not just you, but don't treat it like it's just this worldwide condition and that nobody can do anything about it. You have the capability to change your situation. Like, we can say that and not actually think about what we're saying. Because if we did think about what we were saying, we would want it enough to go after it. And it's something to think about. I want you to think about one statement that you say, like maybe every day or maybe just every now and then. One thing that I've caught myself saying a lot is like, okay, I say this statement, I wish I had more subscribers. I'm being honest with myself. Like, if I'm really thinking about it and I'm making an impact for God, I want to impact more people. That's it. It's simple as that. So now what I do about it is I know that if I keep posting, I know that if I try different marketing ideas, I can get more subscribers. But I have to want it enough to do something about it, you know? And it's tricky, guys, because so many times we say it, we don't know what we're saying. So I want you to be conscious about what you're saying, and I want you to think of one thing that you say so many times. Like, I want more friends, a better relationship with my dad. I want to go travel. And I want you to write it in the comments, and then we're going to talk about what your next step is. And you're going to think about hardcore what you have to do. And like, you have to think about how much you want it and what the benefits of this thing is. Because when you want it that bad, you can do it. And I'm here to encourage you, bro. Like, I'm cheering you on because I know you can, because I've done it, you know? So you are capable, 100% capable, but you have to put it in your mind that you actually want it. Okay? So I'm gonna end up with this question. What is something you want? Maybe it's a change. Maybe it's just more of something. What is something you want? And do you want it enough to fight for it? That's my question. Think about it, pray about it, and then do something about it. Okay? I love you guys so much. Bye.